Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this is race 2 from our second ever community lobby. This was group 3 cars taking on the Temple of Speed Monza itself. It was more of a sprint format, so it was an 8-lap race, so I was expecting very high speeds and a lot of carnage, and well, we got that in droves. It was one of the best races I think I've seen in a long time. Just some complete chaos from start to finish, and it was absolutely awesome. So for this race, we have Ultimate Player leading the way with Dion in second, Ticketbait third, Kevin fourth, and Jody in fifth. Now, there's a whole variety of Group 3 cars here. Balance performance is on, however, there will still be a few standouts, and the BMW M6 of Ultimate Player is going to get out the gate straight away, almost gapping Dion within a split second. So there's a whole heap of insane Group 3 cars. I was kind of surprised by just how popular the classic GT500 Supra was. As you can see, we had a GT500 Skyline, and we're going to go down into the first challenging corner. It's a left right through here, and it's going to be absolute carnage. So there's cars everywhere, there's barriers everywhere, and that is Alexander getting spun around in his Subaru. Pretty much a repeat of what happened in the Watkins Glen GT3 race only a few nights previously. Peaky Blinder also having a bit of a moment, not being able to really get through, looking like he had a bit of an off, as Ultimate Player has pretty much extended his lead. We've now got Kefim in second, followed by Ticketbait in third in the McLaren, and then in fourth place we've got another GT500 Supra, so this will be the leading one of the the second one of the bunch. That is the black liveried 666 Supra, followed by Calgub in his Red Bull liveried Porsche, and myself in our Mercedes GT3. Jody 7th, she's just about to be overtaken by Jace, looking like he's going to get the move done as they drag each other up the straight. The Ferrari, not the most powerful, but then again, neither is the GT500 Supra, so there's a lot of contact going through that corner. Jody getting a bit sideways, so she's now dropped to P10. Dion, he is P11, really dropping back on that opening lap. I'm going to assume he got caught in the chaos of that left and right hand corner at the start. Then we have Peaky Blinder. He's going to have a huge charge up the grid. He is currently P12, about to make a move for P11. That's Supra, an absolute rocket ship in a straight line, same as the Porsche and the M6. So Dion now 12th, followed by Nick in the Audi, the only Audi in the race. Another GT500 Supra of Jay Vandenberg, not having the best race. He's gone wide there, so Raddy is through. The Saudi Arabian again showing up for this race, and that's looking like myself and a bunch of other people have gone off the track. We will go into that one in a bit more detail later. Jody again getting caught up in that one, so she's not having the best of luck in terms of this race. I believe, yeah, I think I may have caused that. I expected the game to ghost myself. I tried to come on the track slightly after I ran a bit too deep, and it basically caused a whole chain of events. Ticketbait again, sadly falling all the way down the grid from P3 to P15 within a couple of corners. Ultimate Player, though, he is stretching his legs at this point. He is well and truly off, avoiding all this chaos. Kefim, he's doing very well in second place in the leading GT500 Supra. Ocho, he's now P3 in his more modern Supra, one of the absolute rockets in a straight line. We've got Jace being chased down by Calgub in another very fast straight line car, that being the Porsche 911 RSR. So I'm expecting Calgub to be making a move soon, just on pure pace alone. Peaky Blinder not getting caught up in that second load of chaos, and he's now up to P6, so his recovery drive going very well. Sleazy Rider has just been overtook for P7 by myself, although that Supra is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line, so I'm going to assume he's going to make that move very, very soon. Whole train of cars still together as we're on the third lap. Myself leading that train, followed by Sleazy, Nick, and I believe that's Jay Vandenberg in the GT500 Supra in its original livery. Also the Skyline in there, and I believe TSF Smoke in the black liveried 666 Supra. So the left-hander who's going to manage to take it? It's looking like Sleazy's got the better line. He's on the inside. He is absolutely through there in the Toyota Supra, leaving it to the last minute to get that move done. So I've dropped back to P8 there. We've got Nick in P9 in the only Audi in the race, followed by, I think that was Jody in the background, just going a little bit wide. So he is followed by Jay Vandenberg, as you can see in the standard Castrol liveried GT500 Supra. Another GT500 behind him, that is Dion, who has now lost the position to TSF Smoke. He's moved back up in his GT500 Supra. And another GT500 Supra of Jody in P13, being chased down by Raddy. He is not having the best of rounds this time. He's usually a very strong showing, but sadly not this time. Ticket Bait going extremely slow there, so I'm not sure what happened. I know in one of the races he did have to go for an emergency. I believe it may have been this one. So looking like he's now dropping out of the race. Ultimate Player, though, he sets a fastest lap again, and he is leading the charges. He goes on to lap 4 at the halfway point. Kefim, he's being chased down by Ocho. That Supra is an absolute rocket in a straight line, much more so than its GT500 counterpart. Is he going to manage to pull out? It's a bit of a bump draft by these pair here. So Ocho, again, riding right on the bumper. I'm going to assume he's going to keff him at some point soon. Calgub, he has moved up past Jace, so the Porsche's better top speed really coming in handy at the Temple of Speed. So Jace is now P5, a much better showing for him this time. He seems to get very, very unlucky in these lobbies, but P5 is a very good showing for him, especially in that Ferrari where we're not expecting much pace. He's chased down by Peaky Blinder, who is in one of the very, very fast, more modern Supras. So that looks like Sleazy Rider just getting sideways out of that corner there. He has left the lobby, so that's moved myself up to P7. Nick is now P8 in the Audi. He's leading away from 2 GT500 Supras and a GT500 Skyline, who are all battling it out for 8th place there. So, you know, the Supra's really hanging on. That was a bit of contact, so I'm not sure what happened there. It may have been internet connection, who knows. Dion, he is P11. He is now going to close the gap up to TSF Smoke. As you can see, Raddy is now through past Jody, wiggling about out of that corner there. The McLaren really not having a good showing this race. So Jody is now currently last place. So we've lost 3 cars with people backing out. Ultimate Player still leads the way on lap 5. So we are just over the halfway point. So Ultimate Player again leading the way, followed by Ocho in the Supra. He has broken clear of everyone else, so I'm going to assume that's a pretty much guaranteed P2 for him. Kefim, he is now being followed and chased down by Peaky Blinder, again using the speed of that Supra to really propel himself back up the grid after, you know, being so far back early on. So he is now in a podium position as Kefim drops back, just cannot hold the pace in that GT500 Supra, sadly. So that is now beginning to drop back in these later stages of the race. Calgub looking like he is still maintaining P5. Is Kefim going to go for a move? He pulls out, but he cannot get it done. So they all both go for it. Oh, that is Ocho spinning. So Ocho's gone wrong. His guaranteed P2's absolutely gone away from him now. So Peaky Blinder now moves up to P3. Sorry, P2. Kefim now goes up to P3. So that is a big change of position. You can see myself going through there. So I am now P7. I didn't quite manage to get through. Jay Vandenberg, he's P8. TSF Smoke, P9. Looking like Raddy is still P10 in the McLaren, so definitely just not a great race for him. Followed by Nick in the Audi, also not having the best of races. Dion and Jody, both in classic GT500 cars, having their own little battle here for P12. Jody falling back in the early stages, sort of getting caught up in everything. I don't think I've ever seen a pink car get spun around so much or thrown off the track as it did in these early stages. Is she going to be able to get a move done in the slipstream down here? They're going to go into the left-handers, Ascari. Not quite sure, sorry about that. So Ultimate Player still leads the way. He is P1 by a mile, absolutely dominant from him. Really good display and no cheating this time or taking anyone out, so well done to him. Peaky Blinder P2 by an absolute mile at this point. Looking like Calgub is quite far back, so he is now into P3. So Kefim has dropped back all the way to P5, sadly. Again, the pace of that Supra is just not there in the later stages. Jay's P4 in the Ferrari, really, really good race for him. And then obviously we've got Kefim and looking like Ocho behind. So looking like Kefim may even drop back again to the faster and far superior Supra that being the more modern GT3 counterpart. He's looking like he's held him off though, has he? No, he's backed out of that one. So Ocho manages to make the move, and I'm going to assume he's going to get the Ferrari pretty soon of Jace. Not much he can do against the top end of that thing. As I've got myself onto the back of Kefim, am I going to get the move done? Down the inside, yes we are. We're up to P6, so Kefim now all the way from P2 down to P7 in this later stage of the race. Really, really upsetting for him because he was doing so well, to be honest. Really kept his nose rather quite clean. Jay Vandenberg's P8 as he runs a little bit wide, followed by Raddy P9, so now he's making a few moves in these later stages. Nick and Deon, they are battling it out for the top 10 as Nick is currently holding off the Skyline, and that Skyline is definitely on a bit of a charge after a pretty disastrous kind of race for him. I believe he started P2. Jody's now P12 up past TSF Smoke, who is going to be the last remaining car in this race, sadly for him. Again, doing really strong in the early stages, but just dropping back. Ultimate Player, he goes on to lap 7 with an absolutely huge lead, leading by nearly the whole straight. So very impressive from him in this Red Bull liveried M6. Peaky Blinder, he's got a nice gap now, almost cruising to second place. I don't think he'll quite catch first unless there's a huge accident for him. Calgub, a great showing in P3 in the Porsche. And Ocho has overtaken Jace for P4 after recovering from that spin. Still maybe not quite good as P2. However, I'm pretty sure he'll be happy with P4 after that little spin. Jace, is he going to manage to make a move into the left and right handers? Not looking likely, no, sadly not. As you can see, I've got myself on the back of Jace there as we're going to try and push for a P5. Not going to quite happen just yet, so we're really not quite in that battle, just a little bit off of those two there. Kefim in P7 in the Dragon Ball Z liveried Super GT GT500 Supra, so you know, not too bad from him, sort of just maintaining position. Now Raddy is up to P8 in the McLaren, the only surviving McLaren left in the race. Jay Vandenberg P9 sort of in his own race. Jody is now in P10 overtaking Nick. Is Nick going to make the move? A little bit of contact there between the two, getting a bit rough there. Jody looking like there was contact. I could see that one coming side by side through there. Just really isn't good unless you kind of know where each other's going to go. It's looking like two cars off there, so it's looking like Nyon in the Skyline's gone off as well, so that's a shame for him. TSF Smoke is not last anymore. So last lap, Ultimate Player leads the way by an absolute margin, just extending this lead constantly. Ocho with the fastest lap, by the way, of a 1:39.455. Second, Peaky Blinder, awesome recovery from him. I believe he started about P15 as well, so really, really good drive for him from the South African. Ocho, P3 now, back in podium position after overtaking Calgub, so there's a whole train there, 3 cars battling it for 4th. You've got Calgub, Jace and myself just hanging on to the back of the Ferrari there, not wanting to kind of make a leap around yet, hoping to try and get him under braking. Are we going to be able to? Jace holding off P5, really good race for him, like I've said. Again, not really getting too unlucky this time. As we go to the right-hander, we're going to then have the run down to another right-hander. Am I going to be able to get it under braking? We'll go side by side. Is there going to be contact? No, it's looking, yeah, nice and clean. I managed to get through there. So I've managed to recover myself to P5 in the Mercedes. Jace ending up dropping back to P6 there. Kefim, he's on his own. Raddy, he's now on his own in P8, so he's had a bit of a recovery in these later stages. Jay Vandenberg getting a bit unlucky in the GT500 Supra in P9. Jody, P10, so she's rounding up the top 10. Looking like she's gapped Nick at this point. TSF Smoke, he is P12 in one of the other GT500 Supras, and then Dion, he is last in the GT500 Skyline. But it's going to be a win for Ultimate Player. No cheating this time, no hitting people. A pretty damn clean victory, so well done to him. Peaky Blinder with the awesome recovery. He is going to take P2 in the Gulf liveried Supra. Very well done to him. Awesome drive by the South African. Ocho, he's going to take P3 after recovering from that spin. Very well done to him for getting on the podium. Calgub 4th, myself 5th, Jace 6th. So finally getting a decent finish, trying to stay out of some of the trouble that usually goes on in these lobbies. Kefim's P7 sadly dropping back in the later stages Raddy, he's had a little mini recovery drive later on. He is going to be the last remaining McLaren, the only surviving one. He is going to take P8, so the Saudi Arabian, again, having probably one of his weaker races, but still well done for a little recovery. And then we've got Vandenberg in the GT500 in 9th. And to round out P10, well, it must be Nick at this point. So Jodie's disappeared. Not quite sure what's happened there. She's also disappeared off the timing board there, so we'll go and have a look at that in the highlights. So Nick is going to take P10 in the Audi. P11 for TSF Smoke, bit disappointing for him. He had a really decent start kind of at the front of the pack. Dion should have really been P12, but he's slowing down, so I'm wondering if, yeah, it's looking like he's going to let Jodie past here, so I'm not sure if they had contact or what. So it's Jodie P12, Dion P13. So the first highlight of the race, this is on board Nick in the Audi, and we're going to see everything absolutely go crazy. So he's going to outbrake himself, he's going to hit the back of Jodie, spin, but then respawn, and then it's just a whole chain reaction from there with a bunch of cars going off left, right and centre. And poor Alexander, well, he's spun around in the Super again. Sadly, I believe he did back out of this one, but awesome to see him return. Then we've got Peaky Blinder. He's going to try and witness all of this chaos going off, as you can see, and that's from his angle. He just gets bumped off and respawned, so he had a really awesome recovery drive, so well done to him. Then we've got it from a different angle. This time, this is Jay Vandenberg, I believe, in the standard Castrol Supra. Everything just going off as he goes across the track. Then Ticket Bait's going to go through the middle of them both, hit Jodie. TSS Smoke's going to hit Jodie, and then she's going to hit Jay Vandenberg. So just absolute carnage early doors. Then we've got this one, and Ticket Bait's going to go down the inside. He's going to back out of it. I'm going to brake a little bit too deep, try and sort of keep myself on track. Ticket Bait's then going to go really, really inside there. I was kind of expecting him to go wide, and then he's going to hit me, and it's just going to start this absolute chain reaction. Jodie there spinning again, so she's really kind of getting caught up in it in the early stages of this race. Then we've got this awesome move by Raddy on TSF Smoke. He's going to go alongside him. Is there going to be contact? TSF Smoke just trying to keep himself ahead, but sort of taps himself on the McLaren and runs wide, so disappointing for him. Then we've got Jodie witnessing the carnage from that's the GT500 Supra. So as you can see, they made a little bit of contact. It might have been a bit too much glare to see it properly, but then she's going to get another move done on Nick as she slipstreams, pulls out of it, and away she goes. So that is P10 for her at that point of the race. Then we've got Ocho, who looks like he hit a sausage curve, and it's just kind of put him up in the gravel. He's then going to spin. Quite a clean spin, to be honest, so well done for Ocho, kind of keeping it together. He did manage to get back on the podium in the end, so well done to him. Then we've got Jodie having a bit of a run wide into the gravel, as you can see, losing out. So I believe this is what happened, and as to why she dropped back so much at the end. So she's in the gravel. TSF Smoke takes to the grass to get past, and then it's going to be a run down to, I believe, a Scari at this point, and she's going to have, sadly, another moment. So did get herself up into P10 after all the carnage, but sadly a few little mistakes later on, and the concentration's just completely gone at that point. Overtake of the day, well, I'm sadly going to have to give it to myself, sorry. It was one of the cleaner overtakes of the race, getting down the inside of Jace. Very respectful driving by both of us. On board, well, that's going to be Jace again in the Ferrari, who witnessed the lap 2 mishap. Cars flying everywhere, and then you're going to see there's going to be the Super Jodie getting spun around and all sorts. So really awesome little onboard shot there. So that was it for race 2 of meeting 2 with my community. Thank you so much to everyone that took part. Don't forget, the next one will probably be tonight. This will probably get uploaded on the Wednesday, so it will be tonight, and we'll do a bunch more races. So keep your eye out for the community posts. I'm kind of unsure on the time. I'm thinking anywhere between sort of 5 p.m, 7 p.m, British summertime. So thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much to my community members, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, guys. Peace.